And then what people are still talking about from last night, the Seattle Seahawks, the big winners, but not the only winners in yesterday's big game.
This blowout expected to net huge profits for our sports books in this state when the final numbers are released in a day or two. News 3's Trevor Thompson now joins us with more on this story today. And we know, at least I do, the sports books were packed yesterday because I went down there just to take in all the ambiance.
Well, I know a lot of people were worried at home. They're saying, how are the sports books going to do? Are they going to be okay? You know, they worry about those sports books. You know,
Trevor Thompson making a funny today now, isn't he?
Those small businesses, you got to see how they're going to do. They're going to make out okay. Now, the record profit for one Super Bowl is over $15 million for Nevada sports books. We'll have to wait until the Nevada Gaming Control Board releases its final figures to know if sports books set a new record this year. I talked to one bookie who said it's possible, but he can't say for sure right now. Now, the majority of people who did bet took the favorite Broncos. One thing that actually ended up hurting the books was this early safety. If you bet on a safety being the first score of the game, you could have gotten odds as high as 50 or 60 to 1. Now, books were also hurt a little bit by this interception return for a score by eventual Super Bowl MVP Malcolm Smith, who went to the University of Southern California. That's right. And he actually wasn't even listed as someone that you could pick as a possible MVP candidate. You had to pick any other player, and you got like 20 to 1 odds on that. Then on top of a safety and a pick six, we had this Percy Harvin to kick off the second half and make it 29-0. He took it back for a score. So the books were hurt a little by the fact that there was a safety, a defensive touchdown, and a special teams touchdown all in the same game. Overall, though, they're expected to be just fine after the Seahawks cruised 43-8. Now, a record $98.9 million was bet on last year's Super Bowl. It'll be interesting to see if that record is broken when the final tally is released later this week. One thing that game had that this one did not, though, is a team from California, the San Francisco 49ers.
You bring up a good point, but sportsbook directors, because this was such an interesting matchup, the #1 D versus the #1 offense, are predicting more than $100 million will be bet this year, right?
A lot of people think it could happen. We'll have to wait to see, though.
And in some of the intangibles, Richard Sherman, we thought maybe was going to make a big splash. He played well while he was in. I'm sure he could have been an MVP pick, but then he ended up going out hurt.
Ankle.
Yeah. And then what about that University of Florida graduate, Percy Harvin, who also had a tremendous game.
Yeah.
All right, Trevor Thompson, thanks for wrapping it all up for us. We appreciate it.